How you doing? This is Sean from Sean's Fish Tanks, and I wanted to give you guys an update. I'm not sure how long it is. It's probably a little over a month for this tank. I made several changes. I didn't mention it last time. I changed out, I took out the biopellet reactor. I'm not going to use it at all. I found that my phosphates and nitrates went down to nothing, and things were growing just fine with polyp extension, and everything seemed good. But I did notice some acros weren't responding well to the radions, and I decided that I wanted to try to implement more T5 lighting. So I picked up this unit on eBay, and it's an older tech light from Sunlight Supply, and I've always liked him. A good friend of mine, the one I told you that has a lot of corals in Connecticut, he has been using a light similar to this for a long time, and he grows acros very, very well. Now, I'm not saying radions can't grow them, but I don't have the money to buy enough radions to get the coverage I would like. Now, the radions that I have, I'm going to try to incorporate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to at the moment. I'd like to, so I'm going to see if I can get them on this rack, which is an Ecotech rack. But the problem is this fixture is so big, I don't know that it's going to fit. The other issue I ended up with is I tried to go to Triton method, and I tried not using any filter socks for a while. Now, that created a nightmare. The past week or so, I noticed an algae bloom. Acros are fine, everything's growing, but I noticed the algae bloom inside the tank. As a matter of fact, there's a piece floating around right now. And so I went like crazy trying to correct. Oh wow, I just noticed somebody just ate some algae. Royal Gamma, that was very odd. But anyhow, so I ended up cleaning out the sump. And when I did that, I jammed my main pump, which is an Iwaki. Now, instead of cutting the pipe and all this nonsense, I installed another small pump for right now, and I'll just let that algae that clogged up the pipe just decay over time with no light, and I should be able to turn the pump back on after a month or so. And that's my plan of attack, because I really don't want to do any more plumbing. Or I just use the pump I'm using now. I kind of like less flow in the sump and more flow up top. I need to get more power heads for up top though, to stir up more debris. Now I got a wild colony. I don't know if you can notice over here. I just picked it up from my local fish store, High Tide, here in Asheville, North Carolina. Ooh, hold on, sorry. Got some spinning action going on here. And I don't know, I've had it a week or so, and under the radions it was just being shadowed everywhere on it. And that was my main concern. I don't have enough radions to cover the shadowing. Now, everything seems to be growing very well. And I'll just show you one piece. I got to change the bulbs out on this light, and I've got them coming in right now, but I'm going to show you a couple pieces, actually two pieces, that I want to just stress that T5, well, they were grown from the radions because I just made this change, but just the refugium alone and carbon, although I'm starting to use filter socks now, and I have to still do another cleanup in the sump. This is my bird's nest, and I don't know if you saw my last videos, but this one here has took off like crazy. It's growing really, really well. My pink bird's nest up top looks very well. This one's still kind of browned out. I think I need to get my phosphate levels down more. I don't know why it looks like that. And then over here I had a couple of bleached out, I forget what they were. I think it was, it might have been tricolor, and they just still haven't come back in color. Maybe need to settle in longer, or I need to figure it out somehow. But this is my, I think it's a pink lemonade. I'm not sure if it's a pink lemonade or it's a or a strawberry shortcake at this point. My buddy said it was a pink lemonade that sent it from Connecticut, and it looks fantastic. It's the best piece I got right now. I mean, there's polyp extension everywhere. And then right behind it I still have a bonsai, but Garth bonsai. But the problem is in this spectrum light you can't see the coloring, and even the other ones look awful. The ones I'm showing you with the T5 lighting, I've noticed changes already in the tank, and the changes are very positive. I mean, it's not something that like it's not something that I'm really concerned about as far as you know, things not coloring up at this moment, because of the fact that with the T5 lighting, once I get the right spectrum bulbs, even without the right spectrum bulbs, things are going to color up and look real nicely very fast, because under T5s they do so much better. Now I'm going to use filter socks again because there's still a ton of detritus down in there. I've got to get, I saw a video that from Mel's Reef or whatever, and he's got one of those through pumps. I tried to siphon it out, and it's just a lot of work to let the debris fall to the end of the bucket and this and that. If I get one of those through pumps, I could easily siphon out the sump really fast, and then, I mean, I got some of it out, but I haven't gotten it all out. And I just want to get it all out of there and use filter socks from now on, and this way I won't have to deal with that problem. But everything in the tank is growing. I have some problems with, like I said, a couple of patches of hair algae busted out, which is the least of my worries. But with the T5 lighting, I did notice more algae growing on the glass, a lot more than I did with the radions. So it's just a sign that my phosphates are higher than normal because of all that detritus. Once I get it out, maybe I can stabilize this tank a lot better and give you guys another update. But I picked up some more fish. There's a couple of new additions with acros and this and that, and I'll keep you posted. Another one I just picked up, which is kind of a big talk right now, is this one right here, right in the center. I don't know if you can see it, but definitely doesn't have the color it should. This is a Walt Disney coral, or what they call a, some call it orange passion, but it's really what they called Walt Disney a while back. And it's just a little nub of it, but it's probably going to be my prize piece. If it's got a little polyp extension already, and it seems to be fine. I've had it for 3 days now. I just got to get my phosphates leveled down. And I did want to mention another thing. According to Mel's Reef, he kind of turned me on to it. I don't know if it's Melvin's Reef, but he went to Macna. He's got all the videos with the anemones and this and that. And he mentioned he uses lanthanum chloride, which is this here, Phosphate RX. Put it in front. I don't know if you can make out the bottle because of the light in the background, but it's Phosphate RX, and you put a couple of drops and you make sure you got your filter socks, and it clouds the water and takes out phosphate. Simple as that. Well, for the longest time I was skeptical, but I just got the recent edition of Coral Magazine, and they did a big study on it, and in small amount it is reef safe and it's fish safe. It's even human safe, they say. So I'm doing a few drops a day in the morning and a few drops at night. 5 drops in the morning, 5 drops at night. I'm not going to overdo it to control my phosphate. I don't want to mess with any more of the aluminum-based phosphate remover or the GFO. I'll use a little carbon now and then, make sure it's not a lot, to clean up the water, and that's it. But first I got to get the detritus out. But I'll give you guys another update soon. The video's getting long, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is Sean from Sean's Fish Tank, and I'll keep you guys updated on everything. Hopefully I can get the LEDs over this unit, and the spectrum will look a lot better with those too. If I can't, I'm going to try to get some kessils, sell them out, whatever I have to do for LED spectrum. Maybe reef brights, not sure yet. Alright guys, thanks.